Good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's session of Roznama, the daily newspaper analysis. Today is the 25th of April, and the most controversial piece of news for today, and I believe everybody must be anticipating that, is Raghav Chadha leaving AAP and joining the BJP. A lot of us had actually anticipated this, that this is something which could happen in the near future, and also why has this happened is could be one of the reasons that the delimitation will fade. All right, the delimitation will fade because this time the opposition is pretty large in the Lok Sabha. They don't have so much of strength for a clear-cut majority in the Lok Sabha, who the majority party. The Raj Sabha also had similar situations, but now what has happened that AAP had 10 MPs in the Rajya Sabha and 7 of them have left AAP and they've joined BJP. All right. So this is actually going to give a major boost to the majority, at least in the Rajya Sabha, to be in favor of the BJP. All right. So obviously he left the party and he's joined BJP. Just a few days back, we did see that the AAP government had removed him as the leader of opposition for AAP from the Rajya Sabha. And then since then, there was straining of the relations between Raghav Chadha and the AAP party members. Then this was anticipated. So yesterday, he's finally left the party and he's joined BJP. And along with him, we've had other leaders of AAP who have also left BJP and they've joined, who have left AAP and they've joined BJP. Also, AAP has given certain reasons as to why this could probably probably have happened. That is that Raghav Chadha was removed as the leader of opposition of AAP from the Rajya Sabha. Then Mittal, that is Sanjay Mittal, against him, the ED, the Enforcement Directorate was going to undertake one basic investigation. So, fearing and anticipating all of this, they, in all probability, have actually undertaken this. All right. Then also, BJP had this one Operation Lotus in Punjab, where BJP wanted to reinstate its government. So that has again been reiterated by AAP, and AAP is saying that this is BJP's another Operation Lotus, where they want everybody to be a part of BJP. So Lotus is the symbol of BJP. That is what the reiteration has been about. So do keep an eye out on this. All right. Then Israel-Lebanon ceasefire has been extended for 3 weeks, and Donald Trump says that US will help Lebanon protect itself from Hezbollah after talks. All right. So the entire tension in West Asia between Israel and Lebanon is not between the governments, but between the militant group in Lebanon, which is Hezbollah. So now their entire target is this militant group and not the legitimate government of Lebanon. So US president has actually agreed that they are going to help Lebanon develop itself and distance itself from the grips of Hezbollah. All right. So for that, they have extended the 3-week ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon. Has extended the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon for another 3 weeks, which had just been brokered last week. And naturally, it had to be undertaken because Israel was undertaking massive bombardments of Lebanon, which is leading to a huge loss of life. Okay. So do keep in mind, again, the continuation of the same article. Then constructive trade deal talks between US and India. All right. Now, this points to the fact that the India and the US had brokered a trade deal in February. All right. So very quickly, we are going to recapitulate certain aspects of it. So in February, the trade deal between India and US did come about. Now, this trade deal came in the backdrop of the reciprocal tariffs that the US president had inflicted on all the countries last year when he assumed office. All right. So these reciprocal tariffs simply based on the idea that whatever is the tariff rate or whatever is the taxation rate that one country is imposing on US, the same rate would be imposed by US on that respective country. So as per this reciprocal tariff ideation, US had imposed a 25% reciprocal tariff on India. Then further, this was increased with imposition of penalty tariffs. So penalty tariffs were imposed up to 25%. Now the total tariffs that we were inflicted upon were 50%. These penalty tariffs were imposed on us because we were blamed for apparently undertaking buying Russian oil. All right. So a total of 50% tariffs were imposed on us. Then relations between the United States and other countries, specifically European Union and Canada, became quite strained, due to which the US was actually looking for a coming out of its various trade constraints that were occurring because of the reciprocal tariffs. All right. And just consequently, India had also brokered the India-European Union Free Trade Agreement in January. So this further pushed the United States to quickly broker a trade deal. So in February, a trade deal was brokered where this 50% tariff was reduced and a total tariff rate of 18% was decided between India and the United States of America. It was just the decision had been undertaken that the Supreme Court gave a decision. The Supreme Court of United States of America. So it is known as SCOTUS, and SCOTUS said that these reciprocal tariffs that Donald Trump has been imposing since he assumed office last year in January, he is invoking an article known as International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Okay? This particular act was brought into existence in 1977, and the Supreme Court said that the American executive, the executive here being Donald Trump, the American executive has not been empowered to invoke IEEPA to impose reciprocal tariffs. It is only the Congress or the legislature in the country that can undertake imposition of tariffs, and therefore the reciprocal tariffs that Donald Trump had inflicted upon all the countries were scrapped and declared illegal. Now, Donald Trump being Donald Trump, he couldn't sit straight, so he invoked another article known as the Trade Act of 1974, known as the Trade Act of 1974. And as per the Trade Act of 1974, this act empowers the US executive to impose tariffs on other countries to a maximum of 15% and also for a maximum of 150 days. All right. So as of now, he's invoked this and he's put on a tariff of 15%, which will be extended only till 150 days, within which he has to come with some other plan. So the trade deal was scrapped, the 18%. Now they are renegotiating, and this is what Donald Trump is saying, that the constructive, India is saying that whatever trade deal that we are now undertaking or negotiating is pretty constructive. All right. So do go through this article. Then Araghchi, who is the foreign minister of Iran, he has foreign minister Abbas Araghchi. He is going to Pakistan for the peace deal between the US. And this time the US is not sending J.D. Vance, the prime minister. Donald Trump, the vice president, sorry, Donald Trump is sending Witkoff and Kushner to negotiate terms of peace agreement with Abbas Araghchi in Pakistan, Islamabad. All right. Then we've seen breaking out of violence again in Manipur between these two tribes, the Kuki and the Nagas. So 3 have been injured, 3 have been killed basically. Sorry, not injured, they've been killed, and the conflict rages on in Manipur. This conflict came back again into existence after last year. Last year, when it was negotiated, last year when state emergency was imposed, it was imposed with this entire idea that in the next 1 year, stabilization in terms of all the crisis that is taking place here will be undertaken, and then a new government would be instated within 1 year and the emergency would be lifted. The emergency was lifted. We did get a new chief minister and 2 deputy chief ministers for Manipur. However, the ethnic clashes have not subsided. Okay. All right. Then coming to the next one, India is one of the countries where Meta automatically blocks flagged content. All right. So this is actually just, just keep in mind that India has had such negotiations with these social media platforms that any content that has been flagged by the Indian government in terms of it being derogatory, in terms of it being false news, etc., it will automatically be removed from the platform. So Meta is undertaking automatic censorship of certain content on its social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook. All right. Then the opposition members have undertaken fresh notice seeking the removal of the in the Rajya Sabha, seeking the removal of the Chief Election Commissioner. All right. So the Chief Election Commissioner Gyanesh Kumar, this is the second time that his removal notice has been issued in the Parliament, and the opposition basically feels that the Chief Election Commissioner is a partisan person. He does not take decision independently with respect to elections in the country and is naturally tampering with votes, which is resulting in the consecutive winning of elections by the BJP. So they have undertaken his removal. Now the removal of the Chief Election Commissioner has been provided for under Article 324(4). They only talk about the grounds, which is proven misbehavior and incapacity, and the entire process is to be guided by the Judges Inquiry Act, the same Judges Inquiry Act which undertakes the removal of the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. All right. So do keep it in mind. All right. Then the BRICS nations have undertaken, deputy foreign ministers and special envoys of BRICS grouping have undertaken a meeting with the Middle East and North Africa countries, where they have actually expressed concerns over the war in West Asia. So India is going to be holding the 18th BRICS summit this year. India is the president of the 18th BRICS summit and will be hosting it in India. And also, as president, India did extend invites to foreign ministers of different BRIC member countries to come for a meeting in May, and the final summit is actually the official summit is going to take place in 9th and 10th of September. All right, so this has been a BRICS deputy foreign ministers and special envoys meeting. All right, so do keep in mind. Then again, a continuation of the opposition parties moving a fresh motion in the Lok Sabha seeking the removal of the CEC. All right, then we've had a new vice chairman for Niti Aayog. So we have Ashok Lahiri, who was the former chief economic advisor. He has been appointed as the new vice chairman of Niti Aayog. Initially, just last month, we got an interim vice chairman, Vidhi Chibbar. Now she has been replaced with Ashok Lahiri. And other than that, we also have Gobardhan Das. He has also been appointed as one of the members of the Niti Aayog. All right. So do keep in mind the names Ashok Lahiri and Gobardhan Das. All right. Then also Rahul Gandhi has flagged that last year, when appointments to the Chief Information Commissioner was supposed to be made, which has been appointed as Ashok Goel. All right. I'm forgetting his name, but he's Goel. So he has been appointed last year, and when he was appointed on 10th of December, Rahul Gandhi had given alternative names. And when you look at the appointment committee of the Chief Information Commissioner, the Chief Information Commissioner's appointment committee is supposed to include the leader of opposition, union minister, and the prime minister. So he had proposed other names, but the only one, the one who was selected, that is Goel, he was in favors of Amit Shah and the Prime Minister. All right. So that is what he's been flagging. Then the editorials for today. The first editorial is actually a philosophical take. You all can go through it. That how in today's political system and political global order of the world, how ethics is being done away from politics, and how the governance and geopolitical relations are actually being established only along selfish motives of the people. All right. So this is what the article basically talks about, and also talks about that how we can bring about a better version of politics in the world, and how it is not about instating moral values, but how we have to reconstitute the deepest ethical foundations in the politics. All right. Then yesterday, Anthropic unveiled Mythos. So Mythos is a new artificial intelligence model that Anthropic has unveiled, and it is by far has been the most powerful artificial intelligence model that has been unveiled by Anthropic. And as per Anthropic, this particular model, that is Mythos, it can look into the loopholes of the security and critical strategic infrastructure of a respective country. Okay, so that is what has been one major challenge, and now India is also concerned that what are the discrepancies in India's security system, etc., and is naturally seeking access to MyPOS. Very few countries have been permitted the access to Anthropic, and around 50 companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, JP Morgan, etc., have been permitted the access to MyPOS, which is critical and also is basically showing that how vulnerable the entire security system of major databases and sources of the global world order actually contain. Right, so do go through it. This again gives you good details into Anthropic and its new model MyPOS, and what are its various features, how could it be helpful, and how artificial intelligence is going to be, is if not regulated, could actually pose serious threats. So do go through these articles. These are important. They give you good details. Now, this particular article is a take on that although it was incorrect to undertake a delimitation, to undertake an increase in the Lok Sabha seats only to implement the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam provisions, but with the defeat of that, we've naturally lost an opportunity, and this article basically shows us that how we've lost onto this particular opportunity, that women have always been less represented, etc. And this was now the time when women could be considered much beyond than only being a vote bank in the country to now being a power bank of the country, and can actually facilitate greater inputs in policy formulation, specifically facilitating women empowerment. So do go through it. Then this article is a nice take, and this article basically tells us that how when the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, was trying to undertake such women empowering measures like the Hindu Code Bill, and like giving basic recognitions to women rights, and giving them equal rights, and then doing away with provisions which basically made women a property to her husband. All these things, when being undertaken in the parliament initially, the members of the BJP back then, the Jan Sangh, etc., they were all majorly in opposition to such acts and improvements over the Hindu law, and calling, and they basically called and tagged Jawaharlal Nehru as an anti-Hindutva person. Now, when they're doing the same thing under the ambit of empowering women, but this Nari Shakti empowerment can only happen after you increase the Lok Sabha seats, is actually very hypocritical on BJP's part, and they themselves are acting very anti-Hindu, at least here, when they are now keeping this in mind, that they have to they will only facilitate delimitation and increase or implementation of the women reservation bill if the total number of seats are increased from 550 to 850. All right. Then this particular article is on delimitation, where the South Indian states had always flagged this particular issue, saying that they might lose onto their seats in the Lok Sabha if delimitation exercise is undertaken only on the basis of population, which was again clarified by the Union Home Minister as that they will not lose onto their seats. Why? Because they said that no South Indian seats would be lost after delimitation exercise, even if we undertake it on the basis of population. Now, this naturally is very, very untrue, because we all know that the number of the amount of population of the North Indian states is much, much higher than that of the South Indian states. The South Indian states, if there was supposed to be no readjustment, that is, we only had 550 seats, and out of these 550 seats, you had to rearrange, on which was a compulsion. You had to do it when you are undertaking delimitation. So naturally, you had to take away certain seats from the less population areas, which is the southern states, and give them to the north, to the more populated areas, specifically the North Indian states. Now, the article also gives you the entire plus minus, which states would lose onto it, which states would get more seats. Now, what they said, Amit Shah said that they are not going to undertake any losing of seats for the South Indian states. If you increase the number of seats from 550 to 850, and you say that the South Indian states seats remain unchanged, but because the number of seats are now 850, so the North Indian states seats would increase. So you either increase the seats for North India, or you while the South Indian states seats remain the same, or you reduce theirs and increase theirs. It actually implies the same. So it is actually a major facade which has been brought out to the sun. Do go through it. Okay, and quickly coming to the news in brief. All right, so this year the G20 summit is being hosted by the United States of America in Miami, and the United States of America has extended invitation to Russia for President Putin to be a part of the summit, and Russia has shown willingness that he would be very much interested in being a part of the G20 summit, which is being hosted in USA this year. All right, then yesterday we did see that Mythos was launched by Anthropic. Now China's DeepSeek, which is actually the cheapest artificial intelligence model, they have also released a fourth version of DeepSeek. All right, so do keep in mind. Okay, then here I just wanted to flag the term defection for you all. So whenever party members from one particular political party on the ticket of which the particular MP has won his seat in the parliament, if he leaves that political party and joins another political party after winning the election from this party, then this is known as defection. Okay, so do keep in mind, anti-defection law was brought into India through the 52nd Constitution Amendment Act of 1985, and this 52nd Constitution Amendment Act also included the 10th schedule in the Constitution. Okay. Then Rajnath Singh is set to attend the 2026 SCO Defense Ministers meet. So this will take place in Bishkek, and he will be representing India in Bishkek. All right. Then, okay, this is a very funny piece of news, but I just wanted to flag to all, just so you all can keep in mind that India has won 4 medals at the Global Cheese Championship. So we've had 3 cheese which has been selected as world's one of the most wonderful cheeses. All right. So we have Churpi. We have one particular cheese from Ladakh. We have a cheese from Mulund in Bombay, and we have another cheese from Mumbai. All right, so these cheeses, they have been recognized at the Global Cheese Championship, which takes place in Brazil. All right, so do keep it in mind. All right, then Haruki Murakami is a very celebrated Japanese author, and it is after 3 years that he is going to release another novel, which is The Tale of Kaho. So do keep in mind the name of the book that he is going to release. Men Without Women is one of his most celebrated books. All right. Okay. That was all for today's newspaper analysis, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.